Okay.
But no matter how much I sleep, I still feel tired. Maybe it's because the nights here feel unsettling. The only thing that brings me a bit of comfort
Should be live now.
to another human being ever again.
I think we're good. Just do a quick audio test. 1 second.
Will be the place where I die. But until then, that leaves me with an ever-pressing question. How do I fill the time? There's always a lot to do on a Friday.
I'm raising the volume slightly on the stream, but we can mess with it as we get on with it. All right. Jacob will be joining me. He's just tending to the dog right now, so when he comes
Recently,
back,
I had the opportunity to talk to the solo
probably put his
developer
headset on
behind
and
the
then
Art of Shadows, David Whaley.
and give his 2 cents on the
Thanks for having
stream.
me. It's a great honor.
Heck yeah, we're happy to have you. How would you label We Harvest Shadows?
We Harvest Shadows is officially, I call it, a first-person farming horror allegory. And it's because I wanted to do a lot of weird things with this game. I wanted to make a beautiful horror game. It's very personal, story-wise. I call it anti-cozy game, which you're probably wondering, how does that even work? I think a lot of us,
So, yeah, Gamescom.
Animal
Go through this every year.
Extremely cozy.
Yes, extremely cozy.
Always seems like a really fun event. I'm glad that Gamescom is kind of stuck around, you know, in the climate where E3 is no longer, you know, a thing. It's nice that there are at least some gaming events that, you know, we can all kind of just gather around and be excited about, and stuff like that. So I've never been to Gamescom before. You know, it's in Germany, but it's one of those I would love to go to. I think it's pretty cool, and hopefully there's some good announcements here on the live stream. Interesting enough, Microsoft is not doing their own live stream this year. I believe last year and the year before, they did their own Gamescom, you know, press event, their live stream. And they're technically they are doing a live stream, but it's not like a hosted event. You know, it's not like their game showcase. I possibly think because their E3, not E3, you know, games showcase, it was so good that they probably had announcements that they may have been planning for a Gamescom showcase that they just probably moved into that summer games showcase. So that might be why they're not doing, you know, any big press event like that this year. In any case, that's fine with me. Today's a bit of a, I don't want to say busy, but I'm kind of pressed for time today, so immediately after this, I'm going to need to go.
Thank you so much for having me.
But yeah, I'm still just hoping to be excited, get some good announcements, hopefully some release date announcements. That's what I'm really kind of hoping for. We kind of know all the games coming out for the rest of this year. It would be nice to have some surprises, I guess. But 2025 is looking really, really, you know, exciting. Lots of good stuff there. Hey, Taylor. How's it going? I am doing well. Time is just racing by. We're almost in September, then October, and it's the last quarter of the year with all the holiday games, which is crazy. This October is packed. It is packed with games. We have like 3 remakes coming out. And like, you know, all these other franchises. Call of Duty's launching in October. What is it? The Silent Hill 2 Until Dawn got scheduled for October now. It's pretty major. By the way, I am using a new webcam for this live stream. I'm gonna return it, but it's only because the webcam that Jake has broke. The USB port broke, so I got this replacement. This is the Razer It's the cheap one. It's like $50, but it has a ring light built into the webcam, so you guys should be able to see us at least a little bit more clearly. The lighting should be pretty good for, I guess, our reactions. But yeah, just letting you know, might get this webcam later. I do need to get a new webcam, but need to do some more shopping before I make some, definitive purchase. GTA 6 is still far, but time flies, so I think it will get here quickly. Yes. I mean, it's next year, right? Which is not that far away. We don't have a date, but we could pretty much surmise that GTA 6 is probably going to come out around this time. I would imagine September of next year. And I say that because GTA 5 launched in September. We did have GTA 4 launch in, I think, April of 2008. I think it was April or March of 2008. It was kind of earlier in the year, but if we were launching in the first half of 2025, we would have had like another trailer and information by now. So I think it's going to be later on in the year. We'll see, but that's going to be a monumental event. It's going to be nuts when that comes out. Everybody's going to be playing it, and it's going to be interesting. Sony should be doing their own kind of events, but we'll probably get that next month. And if there is a PS5 Pro, which, there was another rumor where I think one of the silicon manufacturers had mentioned in their documents that Sony is going to be coming out with a new console this year. So if that is to come to fruition, we should get a announcement next month for the PS5 Pro, which would put it in line with when the PS4 Pro was launched, which was September of 2016. Hey Tragum, both GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 did not come out in their initial release date, but were delayed, so I wouldn't hold my breath. There is that too. It's a massive game. And considering that Red Dead Redemption 2 is still a technical masterpiece, it's still one of the most, technically impressive games I've ever played. It just looks amazing, but it's the simulation and all the animations and interaction and all that stuff. Is this Family Simulator that we're watching right now? I'm sorry, it just caught my eye. I'm like, relationship simulator, life simulator. Anyway, but yeah, it could definitely get delayed, and I wouldn't put it past them. I'm sure that they're going to try to outdo themselves in some way for what they accomplished in Red Dead Redemption 2. Different version or different team of Rockstar, but they're masters on the technical front. So there's that. Hello, dude. How do I pronounce your name? Nikia Vlogs. Okay. Do you think this upcoming PlayStation Showcase could be their best in a while? It has to be. It really has to be, because their May Showcase was terrible. It was really bad. Like, they had no announcements to show. It was just awful. So I would hope that if they're going to have a showcase in September, it's going to be like, here's all the major announcements, here's all the crazy stuff we have planned for 2025. 2024 is a bust for PlayStation. They already said that. But yeah, it's I have a feeling that I hope it's going to be really good. It needs to be really good. How's it going, XOXSL? I am doing well. We are getting excited for hopefully some cool announcements and release dates here for Gamescom. This is the last major event besides, I guess, the Game Awards for video games this year. And of course, we're probably gonna have a PlayStation Showcase next month. I think we'll definitely get a showcase next month anyway. It's just kind of time. It's kind of in line with what Sony has done before. So I guess that's what we'll do. You planning on jumping on the Wukong train anytime soon? Definitely interested in it. I saw the reviews of the game are quite excellent. I haven't seen what the performance stats are like. It seems like a very PC-centric game. I'm probably going to get it on PS5. I'm personally waiting for the physical disc. They had said that it's kind of delayed because I think there's some type of... I think it was the manufacturing plant, whatever was manufacturing the discs, there was some problem there. So I'm gonna be waiting until it comes out, you know, in a physical case, and I'm gonna pick it up that way, which is fine because, you know, my backlog of games is huge and only growing. I've been playing the remasters for Mass Effect, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition and the Crisis Remastered Trilogy, and very, very impressed with just how those turned out. Those are, you know, been out for a couple years, but I've been kind of just relaxing and just kind of playing those in my spare time, and it's just fun to play through the Mass Effect trilogy again with updated visuals and HDR and all that stuff. I think Gamescom will be better than Summer Games Fest. I hope so. I mean, there's only one event, right? So it's not really comparable. Summer Games Fest, everybody came out. It was like everyone came out to hold some type of event. Hopefully, opening night live here is better than, yeah, Summer Games Fest, that conference, because that was it was okay. You know, every single year Jeff hypes up this show and basically says it's going to be the best thing in the entire world, and then it comes out, we get the show, and it's like, oh, there's like non-announcements in here, stuff we knew about for a very long time, and nothing too crazy. So, but that would be awesome. I hope so. I want to do one more unboxing as well. You know, before the year. I have Alan Wake 2 planned. I don't know, well, I have it pre-ordered, but I don't know if I'll do an unboxing of that. I was considering picking up Astrobot in a couple weeks. I think it's early September. I guess let me know what you guys want to see. Stalker 2, I was actually really going to be interested in picking up for an unboxing video, but that was delayed to December. So we have to wait a little bit longer for that. Let's just hope it's not another glorified ad. Well, yeah, that's always been I think well, especially the Game Awards. That's been like the Game Awards problem, and well, a lot of events. I really just feel that, you know, there needs to be more competition or more ownership. There needs to be someone else managing all this stuff besides just Jeff. You know, like, I don't like hate Jeff. I don't find him like overly obnoxious or anything like that. You can tell he's definitely passionate about games, but this dude, I've said this before in the previous live streams, he has so much power that of just complete control over Summer Games, Gamescom, and, you know, the Game Awards, and it's all under one person. And you know, it just means that I'm sure there are things that he has like a certain way of doing things, and he's been in the industry for decades, but, you know, there's just like, it leaves little room, I think, for new ideas or different people to come in. Yes, I will be picking up Star Wars Outlaws, Adder. And how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's added to my list. Probably won't be getting it day one, but I will be playing the game.
Our love of games, and of course, millions of you watching online around the world. Welcome. We have gathered for the grand kickoff to Gamescom, the world's biggest in-person.
By the way, let me know if I need to increase or decrease the stream volume. Right now I have it at -20 or so, but if it's too loud or if I don't sound as loud as I should be, I need to mess with the volume adjustments. So just feel free to shout at me.
The game industry certainly has faced challenges this year. I know that O&L will get you excited about what's to come later this year and in 2025 and beyond. Now, over the next 2 hours, you're going to see world premieres from studios big and small.
Oh, thanks, Adder. I appreciate that. Got stuff coming up. Next month's big video is going to be very, very exciting. There's a bit of a preview right there. This thing. This is what I'm going to be covering next month. We got a new TV, so I'm going to be doing a video on that, and there's some other stuff I have planned for the rest of the year. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the content, and you especially, Black. That means a lot.
So Gamescom,
Want to make sure one of my goals this year was to be consistent. So happy to keep the videos coming. And of course, we got reminiscing stuff as always.
Hasn't leaked and it's exclusive right here at ONL.
He said this one hasn't leaked. Really? You know how rare it is to be excited these days? 2K Games presents Gearbox Borderlands. It's either Borderlands 4 or, if it's more exciting, it could be another Aliens game. It's Borderlands 4. Well, it's definitely not Duke Nukem. Borderlands. Dude, I haven't seen, well, I heard that they were teasing this, by the way, on Twitter. The movie came out, by the way, like a couple weeks ago. I had not seen a film review that low in a long time. That had like a 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I just heard from both critics and fans that that movie was garbage, which is crazy.
John Zuck and Catherine Anderson from Raven Software.
Oh, it's Black Ops. Yeah, I'm not a Borderlands person. I tried to get into the series, you know, played the first one. I liked the vibe of it, I guess, but the looting and you know, the type of gunplay where it's just kill a bunch of people and you're constantly getting stuff, it's not so appealing to me personally. And even though I tried Borderlands 2 after that, because it got like a lot of great reviews at the time, and I picked it up, and just couldn't really get into it. So
Call of Duty next event on August 28th, and starting on August 30th, you'll be able.
But it's
to
a popular
join
franchise.
open beta to try out the brand new
I just, you know, Gearbox has so many great games, like just IPs that they're just kind of sitting on, and it just sucks because, you know, they could do something more than just Borderlands, but I feel like it's the only thing that they do these days. Like they're sitting on Aliens, Colonial Marines, and, you know, say what you want about that initial game, they could still build upon it and make something good. They're sitting on Duke Nukem, which, say what you want about it, you know, a lot of people would say that it wouldn't really work in today's political climate or whatever, but I always thought like having a Duke Nukem story about cancel culture and having that be the satire of the narrative, and it's like people need his help, but it's like reluctantly, and it's just kind of like, you know, this fun, you know, take that makes fun and points fun at our culture today. I thought that could really work well within the Duke Nukem universe. And then the Brothers in Arms series, which they could definitely bring back, do something really cool with. So this is single player gameplay. Just the only reason I buy Call of Duty now.
On stage now. Use your camera to get a better look. The senator isn't giving interviews tonight, and he doesn't go anywhere without his security detail. I've marked a few leads that could help get you close enough to do the retinal scan. Take your pick.
I got it on good authority that the senator stole some sensitive information from the people I work for. Who the hell are you?
This looks good so far. If this is like an entire mission, or if this is like just a part of the game, is espionage and spy and kind of sneaking around. I like this kind of, you know, stealth mechanic where you're out in the open. It's very impressive physics.
enough. It should have just enough resolution.
Please help. They took me during shift change. Knew our schedule somehow. Started shooting.
You must be Pantheon. We can do this loud or quiet.
I mean, these are fun. There's really just nothing else to say about this. Ooh, is that Adler?
The old man says you're worth it. You better be right. Sev, we got the prize.
Good. I'll get out. Fast. We've got party crashers up here.
Great. You good to go?
Am now.
Yeah. Yeah, these are fun. It's just, you know, it's Call of Duty, so you kind of know exactly what to expect. Although I do like, if that's, you know, something that they added to the game that's more than just one mission. This sprinting backwards looks funny. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that they made a PS2 port of Half-Life that was so good. I have not seen it. I know that they do have a PS2 version of Half-Life, but I have not seen it in action. Probably should pick it up for my collection. Although I heard it's expensive. Isn't it like around $50 or so? It's not too bad, I guess, when you put it in hindsight to other PS2 games. Like the Silent Hill games are just like, you're spending $100-$150 for those. But yeah, now if it's a good port, then that's good. They also did a Xbox port of Half-Life 2, which I also heard was pretty good. But I have the Orange Box collection. My 6th gen collection is coming along really well, though. I have about, I have less than half of, well, I have more than half of all the games that I want to pick up for, you know, the PS2 and Xbox, but anyway, just trying to find good deals and stuff, you know. I don't kind of like the idea of spending like $40+ on these old games, and you know, scalpers just, a lot of people like to raise the prices and stuff. The Xbox 360 stuff right now is a bit ridiculous. I mean, there are games that I literally picked up for $5 or $10 a couple years ago that are now worth close to $100, which is just dumb. And they're not even good games either. Like, they're fun, but they're just not like worth that. By the way, I saw a video of someone playing the third-person mode of this in multiplayer, and it's literally Max Payne with the dodging left and right. That's how it kind of looks. Oh, the Xbox port for Half-Life 2 is garbage, really? I heard otherwise, but maybe, maybe that was wrong. Maybe it is terrible. I have to look into that. I've seen it around. It's actually less expensive than the PS2 version of Half-Life 1, but, well, that's probably, that might be why it's bad, because it's less expensive. No one wants it. It's a shame, but, you know, that was still a generation where you saw massive differences with PC versions and console versions of games. It's not like it was today, where it's pretty much the same game. You know, there might be a downgraded visuals, but it's basically the same experience. I mean, back then you had all these games that were just, you had different teams working on different versions, and sometimes that would mean a different game was being built. And that persisted for a couple years after that, even a little bit into the 7th generation, but it was kind of corrected in that generation. People or developers just managed to get parity down. I'll play the beta and I'll see what I think. I probably won't be doing any videos on the beta. It's just Call of Duty, you know. And I've tried covering the Call of Duty betas before, but I don't think my audience, I don't think you guys really care that much. Is it really online only? The Black Ops 6 campaign? Is that because it's part of the Call of Duty the starter thing, you know, where now everything's listed as DLC under one platform? That kind of sucks.
Opening Night Live and highlighting events happening during this Gamescom week in Cologne. Gamescom really is the best week for games worldwide every year, and I am so stoked to be back here with you all celebrating it. Now, it is my pleasure to share a message from Gamescom to you, our gaming community.
Dear future me, I hope you are happy. I hope you visit wonderful places.
A lot of games are doing that. And you know what's funny about it is because I see a lot of developers doing the always online stuff. And no one, I haven't seen like anyone, like everyone always complains when they do that. Like people don't like it, people think it's dumb, and yet developers still do it, like actively do it. What was the other game that was like single player that had like an always online component that which wasn't necessary? Something recent too. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's just like no one likes that. I haven't seen anyone be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Like everyone always complains when it happens, and it seems like it's everyone, you know? Like there's no disagreements happening there that, you know, if you're gonna have a single player portion, it should be available offline. This is bizarre, by the way. Yeah, well, Forza did that. I was thinking of something else. But Forza, yeah, Forza did that. But like, what's the point of like, you know, what was the point of that? What did they need an always online internet connection for in Forza? Because I have the game, I still haven't played it. Streaming textures, yeah. There's this dumb mechanic. Dude, what the fuck is this? That's funny. Version 1 of Cyberpunk is in that. Anyway, yeah, I just think it's annoying when they do that, and I don't know why. As a creator to anything, you want to put a lifespan on your creation, you know, your work. Oh, it's Goat Simulator. Excuse me. The weirdest thing. This is another game I never really got into. These are just your, you know... Oh, it's a remaster. It's really that old?
Yeah. In my opinion, that looked like...
They should have called that Goat Simulator Part 1 Remake. And like kind of poked fun at The Last of Us. They should have done that. That's hilarious.
Hundreds of thousands of fans at Gamescom this year in person, but if you cannot be here with us, don't
Anyway,
worry.
if I didn't mention it before, by the way, I'm kind of getting over a cold right now, so excuse me if I kind of feel or if I kind of sound under the weather or my voice is low. That's why.
So tune in to Gamescom Studios broadcast by IGN on Twitch or on YouTube. Now, we have some news on Persona 3 Reload and its next DLC.
Thank you, Cell.
Aegis, The Answer. Coming on September 10th.
It's not COVID, so I'm just grateful for that. It's just a minor cold, but it's annoying nonetheless.
It's like Tartarus all over again. There is a strong connection between all of you and what's happening. Let's just open it. Then we'll know. Something's wrong.
Ravage them!
Persona?
Who is it after us? Persona!
Here it comes.
Little Joker fun there. All right. Next up, we have another new game announcement for you right here, exclusively at Gamescom Opening Night Live.
Say gameplay, in-engine footage and gameplay, it said. Techland, really?
He's close.
Oh, it's definitely a Dying Light thing. I was gonna say, is this a new IP? What else does Techland own? I know Techland did Call of Juarez, but doesn't Ubisoft own that? Do they own anything else besides Dying Light?
Every man has an animal within. If you push too much, you might unleash the beast.
It's definitely Dying Light. Is it a DLC? Well, they added guns back. This might be a big expansion like they did with the first game, the following. I think so. I think it's a big expansion. I mean, Dying Light 2 was really just underwhelming.
There you go. Kyle Crane is back in a new zombie adventure.
Oh, that was Kyle? I didn't realize.
20 hours of gameplay, a new open world region, and more in Dying Light: The Beast. Next, today marks the launch.
Interesting.
Wish-listed game right now on Steam, and also
I might actually pick that up.
The biggest single-player game ever on Steam with over 2 million
Maybe it'll be
concurrent players today.
decent. I like the following expansion for the first game, but yeah, the second game was pretty disappointing.
And right now, we've got the reveal of the launch trailer for you.
Here we go. Yeah, so like I said, I'm just waiting on a physical disc for Black Myth, but I'm absolutely looking forward to trying it out. Looks really, really good, especially if the game truly looks and runs as smoothly as what they're showing. I think Digital Foundry did a showcase, or not a showcase, a video review of the technology behind it, but I haven't checked that out yet. I wonder how long they're gonna, or I guess how long it's gonna take them to port the game to Xbox. Because keep in mind, it was supposed to be a multi-platform game, releasing on Xbox as well, but they delayed those versions, probably more so because of the Series S. So I wonder how long the wait is going to be, and what that version of the game is gonna look like. If it's this technically impressive and it's utilizing, you know, all the advanced features, yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Never watched Dragon Ball. I wonder if this is if that's a series that people can just jump into at any time, or if it's kind of like Naruto, where it'll take you like a very long time to like get through all the core story episodes. I never really got into anime when I was a young kid. It's just, I don't know, wasn't my thing.
Let's check the Soch with our sideline reporter.
This dungeon is throwing everything at these contenders, but the JK machine is leading the way to the finish line, and the chat is blowing.
What is all this? Death traps, unapproved nicknames.
We got a new Motorstorm. How would you want them to do it? It's interesting because every single Motorstorm was very different from one another. You know, the first one was very much just kind of off-road, kind of rally racing, I guess, if you want to say. And then the second one was like you're on this tropical paradise area, and you know, it's all jungles, it's all beautiful and exotic. And then the third one's just absolute mayhem, you know, apocalyptic destruction and stuff like that. So they've done basically everything. I don't know if I would care for a new game. Maybe a... You know what I would love for them to do? Is similar to what they did with the Wipeout HD collection, and they bundled in all of the Wipeout games. Do that with Motorstorm, and then update all of the games on for PS5. That's what I would like to see.
Still got it, Keely.
I think that would do really, really well. Personally, I would love as well an update or remaster something for Drive Club. I think Drive Club's a really good game. It's event-based, it's simple, you know, but the car handling and the physics and the visuals still to this day, I mean, I think the game's 10 years old. It's 10 years old this year, which is nuts. It's still one of the best looking games on the PS4. So, yeah, I would like to see him do that. I was surprised more people weren't interested in my reminiscing for Motorstorm that I did just a couple weeks ago. It's weird because I've noticed that there are some games, like the not so good games, that people like know are not really good or recognize that aren't really good. Everyone seems to want to see videos on those. So like Spider-Man 3, for instance, the video game. It's not a good game at all, but like a lot of people went to go watch that video. And there's been some other a couple of games there, but then you put something up like Motorstorm, which, you know, I think everybody knows and everybody really enjoyed. And it's weird that I think it's just kind of depending on how people are in, or what people are in the mood for at the moment, and also how the algorithm hits those videos. So it's just something interesting I've noticed. Gran Turismo is decent, but I wish PlayStation did other kind of racing IPs like they used to. Yeah, I have to agree. I love Gran Turismo. I think it's fantastic. GT7 is a phenomenal game. But I would like to see, yeah, I think it's great to have variety, and GT7 or just Gran Turismo as a whole appeals to a specific crowd. And if you're not into simulators, then you don't care. At least on the Xbox side, you have the Forza Horizon games as well as the simulator franchise. So you have basically a game that targets different audiences there. But yeah, it would be great to see them come back. ATV Off-Road Fury was a big game on the PS2, and of course you had Wipeout as well. So it's just one of those I guess franchises, or one of those situations where they could bring more franchises to the table. It would be awesome. But yeah, unfortunately, everything's just downsized right now. It seems like the entire industry is consolidating. So you have big studios owning a bunch of different, IPs and franchises, and they're not really doing anything with them. And it's just really frustrating. They should remaster Drive Club and VR just so they can see the error in closing the dev studios. Yeah, well, that irritates me. The fact that those talented guys were just, completely, they're just fucked over. It's just terrible. I really think they could have done some fantastic work, and it would have just been awesome to have them, come out with a new racing game. What if those devs, or what if they moved on to? Does anyone know? Like, did they form their own studio? Is it a situation like with the Test Drive Unlimited devs where they went and did the crew games for Ubisoft? Like, what are they working on right now? I really do wonder. I'm sure everyone from the studio is kind of scattered around, but it does really suck. I'm pissed about that, and I'm also pissed about Japan Studio. Because that was just like... That's why games like Astrobot do so well, is because these are like, smaller games, or I guess more creative games that celebrate the brand and the love for gaming that PlayStation used to really, be all about. It used to be like that. That was the great thing about PlayStation. You had this incredible variety of just, franchises and development teams, and everyone was just pouring in their heart and soul to the project. And now it's just like, as much as I love the big budget narrative experiences, I still love games like Gravity Rush. I still want them to keep doing, other great franchises and different stuff besides just The Last of Us, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima and stuff. These are great games, but I want to see, more interesting, quirky, and smaller experiences. And, Astrobot is just... That's what really excites me about those games. It's a celebration of the love of the brand and the IPs and stuff. Hey Simon, I hope Astrobot sells well enough to show Sony we want more of those kinds of games. Yeah, me too. I have a feeling it will. I've never seen a single person ever talk bad about the Astro game on PS5. The visuals of these games, of this game, looks really good, like the character models. There's some weird filter over it, so like it looks kind of like it's being filmed on an old retro lens.
Nice one, Autumn. You were the coolest. Skateboarder's wisdom. Never land on your wrist. I want to see you skateboard, Autumn.
This is another Life is Strange.
Like a firecracker.
Could you imagine Life is Strange with these graphics? Yeah. I like the art style of Life is Strange, so it's fine.
How could I forget?
Have you played recent MX versus ATV games? I have not, no. I only played the ones on PS2, ATV Off-Road Fury, so I remember those quite well, but I have not played the other games. Or I guess those games. I'm not sure, are those connected? Like, is it like the same studio? Or is it just kind of like, they're taking, inspiration from that? Namco should do another Ridge Racer game. Yeah, that's also one I just looked at, Ridge Racer 7. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this, you know, consolidation and let's hold everything, you know, close and not do anything because we don't know what's going to happen with the industry. It sucks. I think no matter how you slice it, unfortunately, this generation is going to go down as one of the worst generations in video games. Halfway point is what everyone, or what these big studios are saying. You know, Sony, the PS5 is entering the second half of its life. They said that this year. And when you kind of look at the console, great hardware, you know, great potential, but everyone's just kind of, you know, the industry is in a very volatile state right now. Games are super expensive, and now you have this just influx of just poor business practices and online-only, you know, garbage. And then also these free-to-play games and other type of franchises that are really trying to just, you know, nickel and dime you for everything. So, and there's some great stuff to look forward to. That's the thing that's frustrating, man, is that there's a lot of really great stuff to look forward to. Not just GTA 6. There's Death Stranding 2, which looks phenomenal. The new game from the BioShock you know, creator Ken Levine, Judas, that looks phenomenal. There's like a lot of great stuff to kind of look forward to, and it's just, you know, when are we gonna get it, and what's gonna happen to these to these studios if these games aren't successful. It's a shame.
Look at us now. Raiders.
Is this Ark Raiders? This is another game we haven't heard about in years.
Everything to lose.
I think that's what this is.
But even more to gain.
It's back. And it's coming next year. Yeah, we'll see about that. Oh, there's playtesting this fall. I'm not interested in MMO type, you know, multiplayer games like that, but the world and just the style and aesthetic of that looks really super interesting. Whatever happened to that game called Doka V? I think that was also announced at Gamescom or one of those events like 3 years ago, and it looked absolutely insane. What happened with that? You know, stuff like that is the problem right now with with the current industry and this generation. Is like we get all these really interesting ideas thrown at us, but you have no guarantee of when you'll see them or whether they'll even come out. You know, like they did a resurrection of Routine, that horror game Routine. They did a resurrection of that like 2 years ago, saying it's back, we're gonna be working on it, it's coming out. Heard nothing else after that. Like, what the hell, man? Ace Combat 8 got leaked in an actor's resume recently. Maybe Ace Combat 8 will be shown at Gamescom here. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, that'd be exciting. I mean, I liked Ace Combat 7 a lot. I picked up the other games in the franchise for my collection. So, yeah, I enjoy the Ace Combat games. That would be actually really fun if we get an announcement. How's it going, Symmetric? I need Xbox and Rare to revive Viva La Pinata for my life to be complete. I have a copy of that, or Jake has a copy of that in his drawer. That's like bringing it way back, the Xbox 360 days. Why isn't that part of the, well, is it? I actually don't know. So, is it part of the Rare collection, Viva La Pinata? I guess it should be. But you're saying do like a remake or something like that? Or I guess just bring it back in the reboot? It is part of the Rare collection? Okay. So at least they made ports of those games for, I guess, new-ish consoles. But yeah. Again, it just goes back to the point of you used to have these big studios doing these smaller, interesting, creative games, and you just don't have that anymore. And I don't care what anybody else says. I'm not trying to be like a pessimist. I hate being negative and just, you know, sitting here saying, well, Remember how it used to be? It used to be so awesome, and look at this crap. Like, I don't like doing that. It's exhausting to be like that, and it's dismissive, and it's just stupid, because there are some really great stuff that we see these days. But the industry was in a much healthier and a much more creative place back in those days, and it was a great balance because games were starting to get more expensive, which means you got to see a lot more larger experiences and really cool creative and narrative experiences come to life. I mean, you look at Uncharted, you look at Mass Effect, you know, BioShock was also part of that as well, and see what that did with Call of Duty and the massive jump that Modern Warfare took. So you got to see, you know, this big, huge jump from these narrative and more thematic experiences, but it never sacrificed the creative and smaller games in the process. And now it's just gotten so expensive where people want like an instant, you know, return on their investment, and as a result they're unwilling to try anything new. And so you have like small games like that, just they'll never be made today. They just won't. And then you have studios that create one bad experience and that's it. They're completely destroyed, like with Arcane and Redfall. It was one experience out of their whole, you know, their whole plate of just amazing, great games that they've made. They make one bad game and then that's it. And it wasn't even a game that they really wanted to make. And I don't even think it was necessarily terrible. I haven't played Redfall, but you know, from what I heard, it wasn't like it was just like the worst thing in the world. It just wasn't an Arcane game. How's it going, Lloyd? Good to see you again, dude. Yeah, they are bringing back Perfect Dark, which is great, and it looks phenomenal, and I'm very excited for that. But yeah, not a lot of cool single-player games, so much live service. And the thing is, I don't see a lot of people really like these live service games. Like, everyone's pushing in that direction, and more times than not they fail, or the game ends up being buggy and incomplete and no one cares about it. And very rarely do you have a game that comes along and is just like, you know, is like a Helldivers 2 situation, or like the first Descendant, you know? Like, it's much better to create a solid single-player game, and even if you want to do multiplayer, that's fine. But like trying to create a live service environment where people have to like really invest their time and like continue to come back for all the new seasons, and you're gonna miss stuff if you don't do it right away. Like that type of mindset, I think, just doesn't jive well with a lot of people. I don't think they like that. You know, and I don't know who's playing these games these days.
Great. Can't wait for that one. And now,
I don't know who the target audience is. You have kids who have all the time in the world, but you know, a lot of these games are not like, I guess the experiences, the ratings, and all this. It's not like targeted towards children. So then adults play it, but adults have limited time. And I just don't know if the average person wants to come home from a long day at work with the hour or two that they have to themselves, and they want to do a giant raid in the game, or possibly play some multiplayer game where that's just going to frustrate them. You know, I don't know if that's something that most people want to worry about. Very skeptical about the new Dragon Age. I hope that's good. They really changed up the art direction. I was really surprised, and I don't think so. I'm being, you know, optimistic here, but it makes me slightly concerned for the new Mass Effect, because now I'm worried if they're going to change up the art style for Mass Effect. Don't think they will, but, you know, it's a massive change going from like Dragon Age Inquisition and the way that looked to now Dragon Age, it's called the Veilguard, I think, whatever it is. Like, it looks almost like a completely different game. But if it's a good game, then it's a good game. Here's Dune.
Begin as a nameless prisoner. Sculpt your appearance, choose your background, and then crash into the planet. You are abandoned.
Yeah, I just hope that I just, I hope that it does change. I hope everything changes.
Ravaged by sunstroke. Stick to the shade. Chase the moving shadows. Survive. Welcome to Arrakis, the most dangerous planet in the universe.
Remember the last BioWare game? Big yikes. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tregum. And you know what sucks is that Anthem could have been a fantastic game if it had a campaign. Could you imagine like having these set pieces where you're flying around like Iron Man and like let's say there was this big fleet of ships and you had to like board the ships. Just imagine a set piece like this where you're in this mech suit, you're boarding ships, you're shooting up people, then you fly out one ship and you're flying to another like big massive, you know, like Star Wars style space cruiser, something like that. Like imagine how epic that would have been in a single player environment. You have incredible music playing in the background, the action's just intense, you have the humming and the roar from the engines. Something that could only be accomplished in a single player environment. And you know, Anthem basically boils down to go to this area, collect this item, and then shoot these guys for about 20 minutes until the mission's over. Like there was honestly some great ideas there that could have made for an incredible single player experience, at least an epic one. And if BioWare just made a BioWare game, but they did not. It sucks because, you know, you could definitely see the potential in projects like that. Is Dune now turning into Fortnite?
A nameless prisoner can rise, construct an ornithopter, and take to the air. The world is yours to claim.
I'm not going to be playing this anyway, although I really love Dune. It's just, again, it's a multiplayer project. Perhaps Jake might play it, but I don't know. Again, the problem with a lot of these games is like I've seen that map design before. I've seen these types of mission structures before. That's, I think, my main issue with a lot of these multiplayer projects is the lack of variety, or every single game trying to copy one another. And so, you know, you get into this rhythm with the game where it's like you're doing the same thing that you did in this other game, but it's like all they can do because it's a multiplayer project and you're confined, at least limited, to the type of scope that certain missions could have. Like, this looks fantastic.
Guild bankers, smugglers, house envoys, and of course,
but then you're going to talk to someone who may or may not have a voice. They're going to give you a mission saying to collect this item. You're going to run, fly somewhere, shoot a bunch of people, and then collect the item. Then you're going to fly all the way back, talk to the person. Oh, thank you very much. Da, 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 da. And then it says mission complete, and then that's it. You know, there's no like reason or care or any emotional impact to it. I may be wrong though. You know, the game's not out. It's cool to see them build on the world and the lore with all this extra stuff. So that's awesome. I'm ignoring comments, sorry. Mass Effect does seem like it'll be okay. They're bringing back the old team for the new one. Yeah. I hope so. We'll have to see. Looks a lot like Once Human. Oh my god, that's like... They copied that shot. That brings it way back. Yeah, that's interesting. If Dune Awakening has offline, I will play it. Yeah, I don't think it does, but I would definitely give it a shot if it had, you know, a single player portion. But I tried all of these games last generation. I tried The Division. I tried Destiny. I tried Anthem. You know, I tried all the big MMO games last generation, and the only one that I really enjoyed playing, and keep in mind I play them all by myself, because in my mindset is that if a game is not fun to play by yourself, then it's not a good game. Because if you're playing it with other people and you're just having a good time, I mean, you could have a good time with your friends with anything. You know, if you guys are just messing around, like that's like the first Dead Island to me. Like, when you're playing Dead Island with your friends, the first one, like, you're just messing around, and it can be a lot of fun because you guys are joking, you're doing, you know, ridiculous stuff, and, like, that's the enjoyment of what you're doing. But the game itself is very boring and shallow. And when you try playing it by yourself, it becomes very evident. But the only one I enjoyed of those MMOs that I played last gen, by the way, this is Undead Nightmares, I think, 3. Looks phenomenal. The only game I enjoyed of those MMO games last generation was The Division 2. The Division 2 was actually a really solid third-person shooter. And it had the tactical feeling of, it's a new IP from the same studio. Interesting. Reanimal.
That was Reanimal.
Anyway, yeah, like, that's why I liked The Division 2, because the gameplay was really solid, and you had the world, and yeah, it still didn't have, like, the narrative of what you wanted from a single-player experience, but it was, like, the way the game played was fantastic. And you're constantly going to do environments. Washington, D.C. was a fantastic area for the game. So yeah, that was the only one out of all of them that I actually had a good time playing by myself in. But yeah, other than that, it's just one of those things where I just don't think those games are really appealing if you don't have a group of people to play with, and I don't.
When the game will be coming.
A Dune RPG could have done numbers? Oh, I think so. Especially now. They could have absolutely, you know, been working on that, and it would have been a great, like, that would have been a great, like, in-between segment. Like, have the Dune RPG come out now, or maybe next year or something. Like, right in between having Dune Part 2 and then whatever Denis working on with Dune Messiah, and when that's going to come out. That would have been fantastic to kind of have that kind of in-between experience. And maybe it does its own thing. It's not connected to the films or to Paul's storyline. It does its own thing. So, you know, it just kind of adds and builds on the experience. That would have been fantastic. I'm going to switch chairs and move to this chair. I'm sitting on a stool. It's really not comfortable. There we go.
Locked on. For the Lord of the Night.
Oh, I think Jake's back. Everything okay with the dog? Jake? Everything okay with the dog? Yeah. Jake has like a new puppy. not like a puppy. It's like 8 months old, but it's a big dog.
He's my new butt.
Alright, now it's time to head into the wilds of Monster Hunter, which is playable for fans for the first time.
Would I like more Dune Part 1 or Part 2? Oh, the second, well, yeah, the second movie is like just a much better film. I like the first one a lot, though. Like, people give the first one a little bit of shit because it's kind of slow and it introduces you to the world, but I have a great time. I really love, like, you know, I don't mind slow movies if it's really good filmmaking. I think that's why I like films like Ad Astra are really appealing to me, you know, because Ad Astra is a really well-made film. It's fantastic. But it's a very slow movie. So it just kind of depends. Oh, I was sitting, I moved to your chair because you didn't, I thought you were coming sooner. You missed Borderlands 4.
I told you they're making it.
Yeah.
I told you they subtly said something.
And the guys who did the Undead Nightmares game have a new IP.
Did what?
They have a new game called Reanimal. It looks very similar.
To what? To
Undead Nightmares. Undead Nightmares?
Oh, okay.
It's the, you played those.
Yeah.
The only games I'm excited for are GTA 6 and The Elder Scrolls 6. Other than that, I'll just play whatever. Yeah, I mean, Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna... We're not seeing that until the PlayStation... Well, it's not PlayStation, right? So, we're not seeing that until whatever happens with the next Xbox. I think it's gonna be the end. It'll probably be the middle or end of the next generation. That game's gonna be massive, man. It's a shame, but...
Yeah, spider.
It's a shame, but it used to be like, you know, Bethesda came out with... Like, just keep this in mind. Bethesda came out with Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, New Vegas, all within one generation. That's nuts. And now it's like you get one Bethesda RPG a generation. It's frustrating. You're excited for the Silent Hill 2 remake? I am too. And even if it's not the remake and the game that people really want, or I guess fans really want, I'm hoping that, you know, it at least gets the story right, and it'd be great to just experience a modern version, I guess, of that game, regardless of how it'll turn out. I just hope that, you know, it's the start of them bringing back the other Silent Hill games. I would love to see them do what they do with Resident Evil, bring back the other Silent Hills in the form of remakes. I think that would be really appealing to people. Especially because the games are old enough now where a big significant chunk of people missed out on them. Myself included, you know, I was really young. I didn't have any older siblings to really kind of focus or to be able to get those games and have me play them as a result. So I would love to experience those games. And I'm still going to, you know, play... the original Silent Hill 2 and those other games, you know, when I'm building out my collection for PS2 and stuff. I'm still going to play those original experiences, but yeah, I would like to see them do it like in a modern light, I guess. I think it'll be the last Elder Scrolls 6. Well, are you saying that because story-wise, or are you saying that because the game is going to be so large, it's going to be such an undertaking? Because the map for Oblivion that shows all the different worlds that the Elder Scrolls is connected to, I guess you have limited worlds that you can work within. Is that Tomb Raider?
Naraka Blade Point.
And Tomb Raider? By the way, there's a Tomb Raider anime coming out in October. You check it out.
See, this is why you gotta play Naraka Blade Point now.
It's not... Isn't it like a hack and slash?
It's a battle royale.
Oh, it's battle royale?
It's a hack and slash battle royale.
How does that work, though? With Tomb Raider?
Oh, it's just a skin, probably.
The new Monster Hunter looks great. You know that. Or I guess you're more interested in that. Monster Hunter.
Oh, yeah. Monster Hunter Wilds?
Wilds? Yeah. Yeah, I wonder, I mean, I hope it's not the last Elder Scrolls, but if it is, go out with a bang. I mean, there's Fallout, the next Fallout game, I guess, would be Fallout 5. I'd like to see him do something else with Fallout that's more like, more like overgrown wilderness, like have like a post-apocalyptic setting that's not, how would you say it, a post-apocalyptic setting that's not so gray and destroyed, but have it be kind of like The Last of Us, where things are kind of overgrown. Just a change of scenery. That would be really, really cool.
Mech Battle?
Oh, this game.
Did you finish your bone? You finish your stuff. You finish your stuff, Rocco.
Imagine how long GTA 7 will take. Oh, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. That's the terrible thing. It shouldn't need to be like that. Creating these games for like 10 years, and let's be honest, to a certain degree, it's everyone else's fault, because Grand Theft Auto Online is so successful that Rockstar could just sit there, you know, sitting on their hands, not doing anything, and they'll be perfectly fine. Like, it's made them more money than the actual games have. It's just the revenue from GTA Online. So, I mean, that definitely has something to do with it, but it sucks. It really sucks. It's kind of sad to me. Like, if you keep in mind that for Grand Theft Auto 5, like, if you were, like, 7 when the game came out, now you're a full-blown adult, and you still don't have a new Grand Theft Auto game. You still get to play the game that came out when you were 7. 2040, yeah.
Netflix game. I played this. It is an absolutely beautiful, stunning game. We've got your first look right now.
This is, yeah, the development gaps are the main reason why you would need, or I wouldn't say need, but it's one of the more encouraging elements for a video game crash, a crash in the industry. I think it's probably not going to happen because you look at how much the industry makes right now, it's just too big to fail at this point. But there definitely needs to be something else. Some type of resurgence, you know, some type of a refocused mindset on exactly how to do things efficiency-wise. I think the industry is very closed off as well. It's a really hard industry to break into. So it's like you need to basically allow these people, these new creators, to come in and to, you know, share their ideas and for that to flourish. So yeah, there's just a lot of things that they need to work out right now. But hopefully at the end of this, you know, fluctuating time we're in right now, hopefully at the end of it, we will get things right and things could be even better than they were before. I got Skyrim in the 9th grade, and I'm still playing it in 2024. Wow. Skyrim was 2012, so I just graduated high school when Skyrim came out. That's crazy.
Please welcome Ed Beach from Firaxis Games.
Civilization 7.
Another civilization. Oh, we've heard about this, I think.
Thank you, Shocks. Thank you, Gamescom. It's hard to believe that it's been almost 8 years since Firaxis released our last Civilization game. So we're
Oh, you like
honored
Civilization 7
tonight at
Symmetric?
Gamescom, talking about Civilization 7.
Series been around for a very long time. I'd like to see them do. It's not anywhere on the same level, but I'd like to see them do like another roller coaster tycoon. I would totally be down for that. I think it's why I enjoy Jurassic World Evolution so much, because I loved Roller Coaster Tycoon when I was a kid, and I played that on my parents' PC at the time. Was like Windows 98. It was just really kind of anemic. But that's a game I would love to see come back.
On behalf of the team at Firaxis Games who has worked so hard on this game, I'm so excited to finally give the world its first look at Sid Meier's Civilization 7.
Oh, this is first gameplay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
I know we've seen trailers.
I'm not big
and stuff.
on the game, but
yeah, but I remember hearing about it, so he must have just seen trailers. But
maybe
here's
that's how
the
it
game.
used to be.
Yes, I was gonna say like that's very familiar to me. Oh, that's cool. Nanites, Lumen, ray tracing. You have any friends that play this? Yeah.
Yeah.
If GTA 6 gets delayed to 2026, it will be 13 years. Yeah. Very possible it will happen. I still would like to see this generation last 10 years. I know not everybody is completely on board with that, but I would like to see them give the PS5 and this upcoming PS5 Pro, give it a lot of time to properly,
But 10 years, that's a lot.
It's a lot, but there's still Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is still coming out for PS4 and Xbox One. Like, if the game's possible on last gen, then they're still scaling the games graphically to meet those standards. And I think it's very
No, they
fleeting.
just usually underscale.
Well, yeah. Well, sometimes it looks absolutely. I don't know how it's going to look on Xbox One, but they're just coming out with Star Wars Jedi Survivor on PS4 and Xbox One.
What game is this?
Looks like Starfield.
The Rev 8.
Oh, it's like a. It's like a. Oh wait, it is Starfield. It's like an expansion for Starfield, but you have this rover now. It's just an update, I think. I like Starfield. Was it, the best thing in the world? No. Was it better than Fallout 4? No. I wouldn't... I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. But it's not like my favorite Bethesda franchise. There are elements of it that I enjoyed more than some of their games, but overall, it's just a Bethesda RPG in space. These are the story expansions, okay. Anyway, yeah, I think 10 years is feasible because very few and far between do you have these next generation experiences. Like Black Myth Wukong is the latest one. So we'll see what happens, I guess. They still haven't left the PS4 and Xbox One behind. Hey Tynal, what's going on? You have, you missed a couple of things, but nothing groundbreaking so far. So you're fine. I think we still have about an hour left. Are you planning to get the PS5 Pro? Yeah, I mean, I don't want a PS5 Pro to exist, but yes, I will be picking one up. Because when it comes down to it, it's much more economical for me to buy a PS5 Pro than it is for me to build a gaming PC. I just don't think the PS5 Pro is going to be as successful as the PS4 Pro, especially because I see a lot of people online saying that they want a PS5 Pro only so they can play GTA 6 at 60 frames per second. And if Grand Theft Auto 6 is not 60 frames per second on PS5 Pro, I'm curious. I mean, it's the internet, so you really can't, take it for granted. But I'm just curious to see what the differentiating factor is from the leaked specs, and it's all leaked, so we don't have any concrete information. But from the specs that were leaked, it doesn't look like a monumental upgrade, but it should at least, like, the big things for me is that as long as it fixes the issue with the upscaling technology, like if all the games look pristine and beautiful resolution-wise, that is reason enough for me to want to buy one, because some of these games are brutal, Immortals of Avium was the last one I played where I was like, oh god, looks terrible, and it's a shame because it's a good game. There's a lot of games that use these upscaler technologies and they just look bad. So yeah, I'll be picking up the PS5 Pro if it is real, and it probably is. I just don't think it's necessary. I think they need to work. I think these companies need to work more on their technology of upscaling these games. The type of games that we're launching with the PS5 Pro, Solo's offering. Wait, hold on. The type of games that we're launching with the PS4 Pro or Solos, the offering that we have on the PS5 Pro. Oh, I see what you're saying. There's no, Sony already said that there was really no launch titles for PS5, or I should, not launch titles, but there was really no big God, I can't speak. There was really no big holiday games coming out this year for PS5. So yeah, the PS5 Pro, if it comes out, is going to be like, here's a console to play your third-party games with. So it's gonna be we'll see how what goes on with that.
Well, it is our
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, Lloyd. With that, I do think it's pointless, and I do think it's unnecessary. I think Microsoft isn't doing it, so Sony's only doing it, and I just, you know, I don't think people are screaming for that. It's not like it was with the PS4, where 4K TVs all of a sudden became super affordable, and it was just so easy to market that. It's going to be really interesting to see how Sony markets the PS5 Pro. What are they going to say that's going to be the differentiating factor? I don't know. They should at least put AMD FreeSync on PS5 so more people can use VRR. I agree. Yeah. Like I said earlier, we got a new TV. I'm going to be doing a video on it next month, but it has I was stuck on HDMI 2 from I had a Samsung Q6FN before, and it supported VRR. It supported AMD FreeSync, but because the PS5 didn't support FreeSync, I couldn't use VRR. It worked perfectly fine on my Xbox, but the PS5 uses just, you know, open source VRR, and it sucks. So yeah, there's a lot of things there where I feel they could at least add support to the console to support those the other technology. But Sony was late, you know, to the party with VRR anyway, so it's weird. I don't know. It's almost like they were forced to do it because Microsoft did it. And Dolby Vision as well. Dolby Vision gaming. It's not really a big deal because I think there's only like 2 or 3 games that support real Dolby Vision gaming. But if the support was there from the console, it would be great because it would encourage creators to actually use the technology. I built my PC back in 2021, and now I hear GTA 6 is waiting a year to come to PC, so I'm gonna have to buy a console. Yeah, Rockstar always does that, though. I don't think, besides Max Payne 3, which even Max Payne 3 came out 2 weeks later on PC, I think that was the only one of Rockstar's games that launched pretty much day and date with PC and console. Everything else has been a waiting game, which is interesting, you know? Out of all the studios, they would have the resources to do it, but I almost feel like a lot goes into the optimization of Grand Theft Auto in their games, that it just takes a lot of effort, and I don't know. I'm sure they could do it if they really wanted to do it, but wonder what that comes down to. I would love an Xbox VR, to be honest. Yeah, wasn't there? Well, there's rumors that we should be getting like an Xbox handheld that's kind of similar to Steam Deck, right?
Thank you, Shocks. You're doing a great job tonight.
So there's that. Whatever happened to
Please welcome Deadpool director, creator of Love, Death, and Robots, and the co-founder of Blur Studio.
Whatever happened to the headset that they used? The augmented reality headset. They made a lot of strides with that, and then it just didn't hear about it for years. The main player base is on console, so it makes sense. Yeah, but PC is huge. It's big. PC is bigger today than it ever has been. It doesn't stop developers from releasing broken games and bad ports on PC, which I think is a big problem right now with the PC space. Is like you have the player base there and people love PC gaming, but the problem with PC gaming right now is that you have more than not bad ports, stutter all the time, bad graphics or just non-scalable graphics, bad driver support, and all that stuff. So yeah. I don't know if you guys can see the dog.
My little puppy. My little puppy.
Their one sports game I play is 2K, and they're finally bringing console parity to PC after 5 years. I remember 2K Sports. I used to play, when I was a kid, I'd play like NBA 2K6 and, you know, like those type of games. And those were really fun back then.
Alright. We've been working on it for 3 years.
You know, I will say this. If any game would work well in a service environment, it would be sports games. If you could just buy one sports game and it would be good for, like, you know, 9 years, let's just say, like it was good for the decade. Like that would be the best thing for these people, and you just like maybe buy the new season, or there's like some type of pass, because you would think that the people who only play sports games would love that idea of, wait, I just have to buy the game once, and then I buy the expansions, or I pay for the seasons when I'm ready, like I don't have to buy the game again. And I think maybe the developers like, or I should say the publishers, really like the idea of them being able to release a new game every single year because they know people are just going to drop $70 for it without question. But like live service would make sense a lot for sports games. And live service doesn't make sense for a lot of games, but for a sports game it would.
What? You go back to your bed? Oh yeah, yes.
The PC got the last gen version of the game for the past 5 years. Are you serious? That's terrible. That's just lazy. They probably outsourced that. They must have outsourced that.
Kratos?
I don't know what's happening here. I'm talking to people. I'm not paying attention. I think it's a collection of studios, or
no, I think it's Love, Death, and Robots.
Well, that was Sifu.
Yeah, but Love, Death, and Robot creators are saying they're doing something.
Oh, well, maybe they're doing a series of all these games, or like a series, like different episodes of these unique games. That would be really cool.
Secret level.
It is.
Yeah.
So it must be like
it's all game. It's like Love, Death, and Robots, but
every
all
episode is the game.
Is a new game.
That's cool. I'll check that out. That looks really good.
I saw Kratos one. I was like, wait, what?
You got Sifu in there. You got some other games in there. Okay.
Oh, look at him.
Isn't the current 2K the last gen? Oh. I'm just catching up on the comments, sorry. They're making a 007 spy game where you play as a dog. It's called Barcore. Barcore is releasing next year. Hardcore Barcore. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I wonder what IO is doing, by the way, with their James Bond game. That'd be really, really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. And it just seems that they're really taking their time, which is good, you know. Take all the time that they need, but I wonder when we'll see that. It's gonna be like maybe the last 2 years of this generation, we might finally see that. I hope it's a big game. I hope it's like big and it's variable and it has like different endings and different like consequences, and they really just play into like the Hitman sandbox style, you know, element. God, that it's just it's a match made in heaven. It's just perfect. I'm hyped for Sky Oblivion to replay Oblivion. Have you seen that project? Is that like the are they like updating textures and all the assets, and they're creating like new stories for that? I think I might have heard something regarding that. It's a fan-made project, right? But it's been like in development for like a long time. I think I might have seen something on that, yeah. Oh, they're just re-releasing the OG game in the Skyrim engine, and it comes out next year. Oh, and so it's gonna have the gameplay, I guess, of Skyrim, which is, you know, it's just aged a lot better than Oblivion. This looks good. This looks like what Battlefield should be, and what everyone wants a Battlefield to be, but it's like a completely different game. Look,
alligator?
No, but look, this is what people want from Battlefield.
What?
Destruction. Like, imagine if Battlefield just had like this mechanic where it's like this giant world. I don't know.
They got rid of half of their destruction stuff.
Yeah. Well, they just showed like a building coming down.
Like Battlefield 4, you were able to destroy a whole skyscraper.
Oh, you could do a bunch of shit. But even like Bad Company 2, like every single thing was destructible, and now it's basically turned into. I mean, it's just not Battlefield anymore.
gets left behind.
Delta. Oh, this is the Delta Force game. This is
Delta Force.
Is that single player? I don't know.
No, but
All EA had to do was remake Battlefield 4, but they won't even do that. Yeah. Or just fund Bad Company 3, but I don't know. I think DICE today is not the DICE that we all knew and loved back in, you know, the late 2000s, early 2010s. It's just completely different. Different people, different ideas. Oh, Kingdom Come. This just got delayed.
No, it's not.
This just got delayed to next year.
This is Chivalry 3. Y'all know. This looks exactly like Chivalry 3.
Nah, it's Kingdom Come. I'm really excited for this. The first game was so amazing. It just fucking that ending. That ending's awful.
It had a bad ending?
Oh, the ending. I flipped out. I was on stream. I beat it on stream and I flipped out. Because it just felt like they were writing the ending and then they just stopped. It's perfect. And that's like what they did. So it's like the ending of Kingdom Come 1 is like half the story. It's literally like half the story. It sucks. But it's a great game. It's one of the best RPGs I played. It probably is the best RPG I played last generation. It was phenomenal. Is this a direct sequel or something new? It is a direct sequel. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I would have thought that they would have done a different title, but yeah. It's a full direct sequel. Same character.
Let's continue from where you left off.
I'm sure it will. Oh, gameplay premiere tomorrow. Oh, gotta check that out. Anyway, I'm really excited for that. That's gonna be awesome.
Now, last month, the ARPG Zenless Zone Zero was released for Hoyoverse.
That's February. It's now February 2025. It just got delayed.
Check it out.
Hoyoverse. This looks like that game you play on your phone.
This is.
Wait, it is?
Yeah. But is it a new character they're gonna release? They just released a new character.
Jacob plays this game on his phone, and it's like a hack and slash.
I have those two on the left. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not anything like this.
It doesn't look any well.
I mean, like these are like the cinematic things.
The world looks complete. Oh yeah. No, I hate it when they do that. You know, hyper cinematic trailer and the game doesn't look anything like that. Getting into the Persona series, never played it before. I have not either. Never really got into Persona. I always hear those games are really daunting, like to play, like because they take so long to actually complete. And like I played long games, but I heard it takes like hundreds of hours to get through like freaking Persona. You're like 150 hour and 200 hour game. Like it's just nuts. And then it's a turn-based game, so to play a turn-based game that lasts that long is just makes me really nervous to even try.
Genshin Impact.
Are they doing a cross? Like a crossover?
No, probably not. I haven't touched Genshin Impact in a while. But it is Genshin. Unless they decide to make a new fucking... No, excuse me. A new, like, IP.
Yeah.
But, no.
Yeah, Symmetric, they did announce a new Borderlands.
That's definitely Genshin.
They, it was like a 20-second teaser trailer. The dude grabs the mask, turns it around, and it's the fucking... I don't know what mask it is. The famous, you know, classic Borderlands mask. And it said Borderlands 4. I was complaining the entire time that Gearbox has other great franchises that they're just sitting on, and all they seem to be doing these days
is
is
Borderlands. Honkai? Oh no, they're just showing. It's just saying Honkai now.
They're going from like different games.
Yeah.
Are all these like the same studio or something?
Oh, that's interesting.
That's a year away.
I wonder what they're doing with that crossover.
Hmm.
I want to say that's their first crossover.
Jeff looks different. He actually looks a little bit older here. Is it just me?
Arkhamverse for Batman Arkham Shadow. It arrives later this year. It is a completely new Arkham story exclusive to MetaQuest.
Yeah, he looks a bit older. It looks like he's finally aging. He does look old, yeah. He's like look the same. He's like Todd Howard to me. That's how I'm used to seeing him, where it's like he just looks the same like all the time, but he oddly looks really old on that stage right now.
Oh, VR.
Oh, this is the Batman VR game. That people were complaining about this, saying, "Yeah, this is what we really wanted, Rocksteady." Fucking VR. I'm sure this will be more fun than Suicide Squad.
Jim, this Rat King could be anywhere. Face in the crowd, a foot soldier and his own fanatical mob. So how in the hell do we find him?
Targets are all city employees. Civil servants, public officials. You could have been more than a symbol. You could have been a god. Look out!
I'm sure it'll be fine for people who love VR.
We tried it your way, now we do it mine.
Not really a VR guy, but it's better than Suicide Squad. Yeah, kind of feel bad for the PSVR 2 people. I know Sony just put out a peripheral that allows you to use it on PC, which I don't even know how well that works. I'm not really sure how well that works, the PlayStation VR on the PC. But what really killed that headset was the lack of backwards compatibility. I just can't believe that they really launched a product, a VR, like a niche product like that, and you couldn't play original PSVR games. Like, that sucks. That definitely make me feel burnt.
Well, that trailer was buzzing,
if I invested in that.
The city is buzzing during this week of games, and this weekend the heart of our beloved gaming metropolis Cologne will transform.
I'm trying to stay awake. I'm just tired.
I know. I'm sorry. I always make you come on these live streams when I'm here.
Both days with another 100,000 fans. Now, if you haven't been there yet, you should.
FYI, guys, I work very late.
Yeah, Jacob has a late shift.
I don't get home till like 2:30, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Gamescom has fans all over the world, and I have good news. Gamescom is heading to other continents.
Sometimes not till 6. So.
In all honesty, I wouldn't have scheduled this the way I did if I knew that this was happening today. I kind of just forgot about Gamescom until like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. We have Gamescom.
Rocco's passed out
Join
too.
in on the fun and the entertainment area to find out all about the games, the stage shows, cosplay, and much, much more.
I would love to go here though. Oh, this is Gamescom Asia, but
oh no, you said this one. Let's go to this one.
Yeah, but Gamescom would be really awesome
It's in Singapore.
It's well, the actual Gamescom's in Germany. But that'd be really fun to go to. I think it's other than E3. Now that E3's gone, it's like the only gaming event now.
What?
Now that E3's gone.
Yeah.
This is Little Nightmares 3, by the way.
Oh, I heard about this coming out.
Supermassive. Really? Supermassive did the Dark Pictures games. Why are they doing this? Maybe that's because the studio's working on their new IP.
They made these two. I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm not sure.
You played the first two, right? And you really liked them?
Yeah, they're fun.
I'm always impressed, like, visually, what they do with shadows and lighting. Like, it looks really, really good. PlayStation really hates compatibility while Xbox loves it. Yeah. And it's a shame because the PlayStation... That was the great thing about getting a PlayStation console. You got a PS2, all your PS1 games work. Bought a PS3 at launch, all your PS2 and PS1 games work. In fact, any PS3 plays PS1 games. And then PS4 was like, nope.
I'm just curious what they're doing with this one. Because, like, Little Nightmares 1 was about the first kid. And Little Nightmares 2 was, like, kind of about him and what happened. And then you kind of fixed everything. And I don't know about 3.
Well, it's a different studio, I think. Supermassive didn't work on the other ones.
That's me.
Imagine how epic the PS5 would have been if it played PS4, PS3, PS2, and PS1 games. And it was just like what Sony did. Imagine how epic like that console would have been. And it's a shame.
Turn off. Right.
They got the emulation to work. So they could probably get the discs. They could do it like Microsoft does, and you could put the disc in and have it download. If they really wanted to, do that, they definitely could. Because they're already emulating the games on the console. I really hope they get the PS3 emulation to work.
A Shepherd game? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, you're kind of like herding... hurdling.
Oh, we're hurdling. We're hurdling.
He's
ready to hurdle now. I'll show you how to hurdle.
I think both Xbox and PlayStation should do that. Yeah. I mean, Xbox had compatibility with the 360, although it was limited with original Xbox. But it's nice that they kind of, really focused on that with the Xbox One and the Series X. I just wish they would add more games, but I know that they're kind of fighting the publishers with that as well.
Black and White and Fable. And tonight he's here to reveal his brand new game, which he's secretly been working on for the past 3 years. Please join me, Gamescom, in welcoming to ONL, Peter Molyneux.
Peter Molyneux is back. The Fable guy.
Masters of Albion.
He created Fable.
No, I know.
He was on stage all the time at Microsoft. He's just back. He's a character.
Incredible honor it is to be here on the stage with Jeff.
Yes, Peter.
He's amazing.
This is so fun. Okay, so a couple months ago, you and I had lunch in London. I was like, what are you working on? You're like, well, I've actually been working on a game for a number of years. You've kept very quiet about it. Yep. You really wanted to let the game speak for itself. But tell us about Masters of Albion.
Right. So after messing around on mobile, what the hell was I doing?
It would be awesome if the PS6 had full compatibility. They could charge $1,000 for the PS6, but if it played the entire library of PlayStation games and consoles, I would buy it day one, even for $1,000. Like, it was just like absolutely the ultimate gaming platform.
Itchy.
And to your credit, you've self-funded this project yourself. You put together a team of a lot of veterans from those games.
Yeah, I mean, I think my first realization is I needed to bring the old team back together again. So I'm working with people like Mark Healy and Russell Shaw and Ian Wright, the people that helped on and created Black and White, Dungeon Keeper, and Fable. Anyway, let's have a look at Masters of Albion.
All right, here's the world premiere of Masters of Albion from Peter Molyneux.
Still doing it.
This is Masters of Albion. We're a team of 20 people dedicated to making something new, unique, and different. Here we are in the familiar vast...
It looks like Fable. It still looks like Fable. It's funny. I think he's just a fan of these types of worlds and style. Doesn't it look like Fable?
This is
A little bit.
By day, you're tasked with building the town up, gaining resources, and earning money. By night, your town will be attacked by many of Albion's creatures. You can design anything.
Oh, I like the hand.
The clothes they wear, the weapons they use,
It's not that easy to make a
I'm not that interested in making it that detailed. I can't even make my own sandwich sometimes.
I like the hand idea. Just grab it. Oh my god, he just drops them. I guess it could be fun if it's all physics based.
Can it though?
You know, you got to applaud him for showing actual gameplay, not a trailer. You know, you can definitely see pop-in. You see technical issues already. The game's not pretty. He's showing the actual game, which is great.
My hero is now under my complete control, and now it's time to fight. My hero's getting overwhelmed. Let's switch back
I think he'll be
Some
fine.
older
He's
games
bigger than them.
Oh, some older games are hard to get. Would be good for them to restock to make them easier to get. Yeah, I think. Well, that's always the great thing about having, you know, for these really expensive games or really rare games. Sometimes it's the most, you know, accessible way to play them.
This is just a glimpse of
It just sucks when they take ownership away.
an open world god game full of combat, choices, mystery, and story.
But we'll see. I really do hope that they work on PS3 compatibility natively for the PS5. That would be a huge step, I just think, for Sony as a whole, because that's always been like, you know, like the bastard child of Sony. I love the PS3 to death. It's my favorite console of all time. But, you know, it was a pain in the ass, and it's still a pain in the ass, game development wise. This looks like your thing, your cup of tea.
This is what was that show called? Squid Games.
Oh,
it's literally Squid Games.
Okay. Oh, I see the people in the outfits. Yeah. I never watched Squid Games.
It's a dark show.
Yeah, I did hear that. It's a Netflix game, and it's available on your phone. Wow. Don't they already have a free Squid Game on Steam? I do not know. Isn't that, what's her name from The Witcher? I was gonna say. I forgot that actress's name. Oh, is she playing the character? Oh. It's, I forgot the actress' name. She plays Yennefer in the Witcher series. She's playing the main character in this game. It's kind of like a Souls-like, but you can like possess other people. I'll check it out. It looks interesting, and I like her too, despite the issues with the Witcher TV series. I think she's a really good actress. Looks like Control. Not quite. Awakening, Unknown 9, Awakening. Yeah, I didn't know she was in that though. They kind of did make the character look a bit like her. Excuse me.
This is the game I'm trying to see. I'm trying to play, but they say it's out, but it seems like you have to go through their website maybe to do it. But it's not through Steam yet. Maybe they're announcing it now. But they're saying it's supposed to be like Tarkov, but I don't think it's like Tarkov. I think it's a little dumbed down to Tarkov, because this one's like, what it seemed like through the streams is that because in Tarkov, if you get shot in the leg, your leg's broken, like, or you can be bleeding. You can get a heavy bleed or something like that, and you have to use specific things, like tourniquet, like use a tourniquet or heavy bandage to deal with it. But like this one just seems a little more simpler for players that don't want something too realistic. But they're like, oh, it's gonna take over Tarkov. I mean, I think the only way they would take over Tarkov is just because it's just a newer extraction shooter.
Full release coming at the end of the year.
Arena Breakout Infinite is now available in
it looks better.
with the full release coming at the end of the year.
Well, yeah, it looks better, but
I'm not
it's just about how it plays.
It looks like you're in enclosed spaces the entire time.
But one's more for realism, as this one, from what I've seen, doesn't seem like it's for realism. It's just for people who just want to shoot and gun.
You know what it looks like kind of to me is Ready or Not meets Tarkov, kind of like that.
Because like in Tarkov, you have to sometimes there's somebody near you, you want to be still. You don't want them to know you're there. And like it comes to like
I've seen you play
who moves first. And it's like,
well, we're very glad to have you guys back.
This one just seems like, oh, I see him. I'm gonna push.
We do, yes. And come on by if you're here all week long. We're proud of it. But it's also a particularly big moment for Warcraft. We have celebrations and anniversaries galore.
Is this the new expansion you're going to talk about?
Yeah, they're probably. I know something on the. It comes out in like a week, or I think it already came out maybe.
Global launch is coming up very soon this month, right?
Yes, it is, and we're just days away from the global launch of the War Within.
Yeah.
August 26th, it's go time.
People are already complaining about it though.
But it's not out yet.
Yeah, but some people's stuff is not out yet. In the pre-expansion, they're saying, "Oh yeah, it's ready," but everybody more than half the classes have their new update, and some still don't. And so now it's like a worry of did they even finish it? Because how do you not? How does everybody else have their stuff except a couple of these classes don't?
It seems like there's whenever expansions or anything launches like this, there's always going to be some type of issues, server issues, or
I'd say Warcraft's a big thing about releasing, about it being longing, MMO, is that they're not afraid to change up the game. A lot of the stuff, a lot of the classes play the same, but they try to change things in the talent tree, try to change things, how things work to keep it interesting. Yeah, they have their flops, but at least they keep trying to do something different.
I guess it's better.
Final Fantasy, they'll add new spells for the class.
Like simple stuff.
They'll maybe add new spells, and maybe they'll take one away. But WoW does that, but also changes how the gear system works, and changes how the leveling system guide works. Or not leveling system guide, but how to upgrade. They had they had a Valor system they got rid of. They reintroduced in a different way, and it just kind of hit, so people like it. But some people don't. Some people do. But now there's now Mythic Dungeons is big, so they're trying to implement more of how to situate good players to bad players. And
do you? Lloyd says he wishes Warcraft was on Game Pass. Well, I guess you're talking about PC.
I mean, now that
Pass.
they own it, I mean, I don't see why not. And mainly, it's a subscription-based game, and Game Pass is a subscription.
Oh, yeah. They could do Game Pass Ultimate.
They could do it, and they just don't do it.
I mean, the acquisition is still somewhat fresh, so maybe next year. But they, probably not. I think they like their money. Warcraft has never been on console, has it?
No, it won't go on console.
Would it ever work?
No, it won't
work. Too complicated?
That's wishful thinking for that game.
Okay.
there's too many controls, first of all, and then
I've seen your screen. There's just like buttons everywhere, like, so I don't know how they.
Well, yeah, there's like, kind of. Well, like, you could try to numb it down, but that's what they did with Diablo, and with starting with Diablo 3. People didn't like it apparently. I mean, I never played Diablo 2 or 1, but that's what a friend was telling me, is that like they made it more console friendly by making it 4 spells that you can have out.
So the whole game gets kind of dumbed
so it's
down.
like, yeah, like you would have to dumb down that whole game, and
yeah,
you'd kill the whole environment. It is just, but like, what they could do is they could bring it to console, but it's keyboard and mouse only.
Oh, yeah.
And that would be just fine.
And Xbox has full support for keyboard and mouse, so I guess they could do that.
Yeah, you get a more player base that doesn't want to get a PC but wants to stick to Xbox.
I have a question. Has anyone ever tried like Nvidia's streaming service?
Is that in class?
Has anyone tried an Nvidia streaming service or gone to like GeForce Now? Have you tried going on like the Xbox's Edge browser and going to GeForce Now and seeing if you can get games to run off of there? I wonder if that works. Probably doesn't, but you know, all you need is a browser. Go to GeForce Now, log in, and see if you can stream PC games to your Xbox.
I'm not worried about the cosmetics in that game.
That looks great. Thanks for the sneak peek.
I'm just wondering if they finally made a new class, because
new exploit discovered.
This is the thing that bothers me about this is they made like, I think they made like 3 different new classes on Diablo Immortals when Diablo 4 was out.
Okay.
But it's like, those classes could have been easily introduced into Diablo 4, but they decided not to. Like they had like a blood season for both Immortals and Diablo 4.
But don't you?
And it was like a vampire style kind of idea, and I was like, okay. And they brought a vampire class into the game. They brought a vampire class.
Wake up.
Yeah, they brought a vampire class into the game of Diablo Immortals, but when it came to Diablo 4, nothing. Here's the new system on this season.
You guys have phones though.
Yeah, it pisses me off that they do that. Like that's one of the reasons why I just stopped playing.
You have not tried. You have not.
They don't care about their. They don't care about the Diablo 4. They give more care. They give more care to Diablo Immortals because people
probably make more money off of it.
Yeah, and like, there's nothing wrong with the game. I just don't appreciate that you release this new game and then you decide not to give it any love.
Yeah,
and it's just like, cool, thanks.
Yeah. Tyler has not tried GeForce Now before. It's actually, of all the game streaming services, GeForce Now is incredible. I'm very sensitive to input latency. It is very, very acceptable on GeForce Now. Like, it's not quite like, it's not like the native experience. Like, there is a difference, but I could play a game on GeForce Now quite comfortably without major lag issues. It's not bad at all. So it honestly is a very impressive service, and the image quality looks incredible. Diablo 3 was peak, and I miss it. That's what Symmetric says. Yeah, I never got into Diablo myself. Jacob plays all those games. Symmetric says Diablo 3 was peak, and he misses it. You didn't play Diablo?
I never. Okay, I played Diablo 3. I did like it.
Okay.
But according to my friend, he said Diablo 2 was more fun because it's just focused for PC players. But again, I'm not sure on that because I never played Diablo 2 or Diablo 1.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, but I had a lot of fun with Diablo 3.
You like 3? Did you like 3 more than 4?
It was just fun because there's like this weird gauntlet, and yeah, it could be like repetitive, but it was just like the idea was like making your character stronger to go further into the gauntlet. Like, it was, that's where my fun was. It was like just sitting there, just like trying to buff up as best as you can and get top tier and just go into this dungeon, just go into the gauntlet and just fucking zoom through and try to see how far you can get. And you get rewards for getting further and further and further. But like, they also had seasons, so it's like every season you have to make a new character. And
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I just know everyone was begging for Diablo 4, and then the game came out, and people seemed to like just be disappointed by it.
Interesting, this game.
Yeah, it's like a.
It feels just more of a hack and slash rather than
the art style's really cool though.
Yeah, than a Dark Souls like.
You can see the differences from 2 to 3. It was like going from Oblivion to Skyrim, dumbed down a little bit though. Interesting. Diablo 2 to 3 differences.
Oh yeah, but that's because they didn't make a Diablo in a long time between those dates. That's why everyone was super hyped up about 3.
The constraints of the past are history.
But they go through their seasons now like nothing. That's like fucking like candy.
Well, I don't see anyone talking about Diablo 4 much.
No, but
besides
Diablo
these
3
things.
is on like season like.
Oh, it's still going. They're still updating it, and like
they still do. Well, it's still a fun game.
Yeah, but like
they
still
don't
like,
make new characters or anything, but they just make new seasons.
Oh, but they're okay. So there's stuff to do still.
Yeah, just get more cosmetics, but it's, again, like when you get to season 32 or something like that, it kind of gets like, okay.
Yeah,
you know, I get a little tired of doing the same thing over and over again.
I honestly can't believe that you have games like For Honor, you know, have lasted as long as they did, with all these expansions, and just seasons and stuff like that. Like they're on year 8, I think. Lloyd says, I wish the Dark Souls style games aren't so hard, but I suck at those kinds of games. Yeah,
okay, this, I mean, I had a bad experience with it.
Well, is the frame rate as bad as the trailer right now?
It's like, okay, so it's a dungeon crawler battle royale, like weird battle royale PvP. Like, there's PvP VE, or PvE PV, I don't know what you're gonna call it. But the idea is that you go into team of 3s, and you go in and you're killing NPCs. You might run into another group, and you have to battle them.
Interesting.
The only thing is that from the other one I played was Dungeonborn. Dungeonborn's like a little more dumbed down. But the thing is, the difference, I was able to play by myself as a rogue if I wanted to, and just walk in and play. This one, I go as a rogue, and I could barely fight one of the NPCs.
Oh, it's like really hard.
It's really hard, and like I don't know if I'm just playing it wrong or something like that, but like it's hard to dodge. You can't dodge, as in the other one you're able to dodge. This one's like it goes like if they swing, you try to move out of the way, it doesn't matter, it still hit you. And it's like, okay, whatever.
Oh, this is pretty.
But you have to deal with like 20 of them, like, or 15 of them in a room, and as a rogue you're supposed to have low health, but have a little more damage and speed, but you can't even do that.
Is this Animal Crossing?
So for me, Dark and Darker just wasn't fun to me because I can't play by myself, even though they said you could play by yourself.
Yeah.
It's like you need a team. Like, too bad. It's like if you don't have friends, then too bad.
Symmetric.
That's just my way of taking it. Oh, and on top of that, if you want more classes, if you want to play different classes in the game, it's supposed to be a free game, I think. I forgot. I forgot if I bought it or not. But if you want to play a different class, you have to pay money to open up another class slot to play. Like, so if you already made a rogue, okay, you made the rogue. Unless you delete that rogue, then you could play a monk or whatever else. Unless you want to spend money to open up another character slot to play that other class.
Huh.
They're like, okay.
Can you earn it without spending money?
I don't know, because I can't, because the one class I played couldn't suffice to be, it couldn't be alone. At least that. But like the Dungeonborn game, the other one I played, you can play anything. Everything has its own counter against it. So like rogues can't versus a certain class because it's gonna fuck them. It's gonna mess them up. But every class can venture through the dungeon no problem by itself. But
I told you there was a connection
in
between
Dark and Darker, it's like if you don't have friends, you're not playing this game right. So get out.
Does it exist? Is it the
So
key to
I just
some
like
lost
done.
power?
I see.
That's up to you to
Yeah, Symmetric. I got into the Souls games with Bloodborne, and I never played a Souls game before, but I mean, Bloodborne was phenomenal. I don't know. I guess it kind of clicks with you, or if it doesn't, you kind of have to have a lot of patience and willingness to really experiment. And I don't know what it was, because I love story-based games, and they're not really story-focused.
It's been a dream come true.
But I had a good time with those, like Bloodborne, and I like all of them. I think they're fantastic.
The beauty of a first-person game like this.
By the way, I hope we get a release date for Indiana Jones.
You are the one who cracks the whip, who feels the weight of every punch and the thrill of finding every clue. Indy is such a unique character.
There's a rumor this is coming to PS5 in like next year, because Microsoft's putting more games on.
This is gonna be fun though.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. I think it's gonna be good.
Like, it may not be the best game, but it's just gonna be very enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly. And I like machine games. They make good games. The Wolfenstein games are fantastic.
Well, I think they're just doing a really good job keeping the Indiana Jones aspect alive.
Yeah.
The Great Circle spans the entire globe.
Because, like, I mean, the movie, like, the new one that we watched, it wasn't bad. It was still enjoyable.
What, the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, no, yeah.
It was still enjoyable, but, like, but is it something that that Harrison Jones can do? Or is it, I mean, Harrison Ford can keep doing? Probably not. And then whoever's gonna replace him isn't gonna do very well. I'm just gonna say that now.
Well, I think that they're done with it.
Every single time they try to replace somebody else.
I think they're done with it until they reboot it, and that's gonna be.
Oh, and the reboot's not gonna be Harrison Ford. It's gonna be, his long lost daughter is gonna like.
Oh, they probably would do something like that.
His long lost daughter.
or he's gonna be like a teenager. It's gonna be like Uncharted or something. He's gonna be like a teenager, and it's gonna be like him like discovering his love for the first time.
No, but it's just gonna be like,
release date.
I didn't know my.
Hold on, release date. December. Okay, that's a good month for it. But wait, Stalker 2 comes out like a week before.
There you have it.
I'm sorry.
But
it's like.
No, Stalker 2 comes out November 20th.
They're just gonna be like, oh yeah, someone's gonna come up to you. Your father was a national was a protector of national treasure, or something like that. You know it's gonna be like that, and then he's like, this is not true, and then all of a sudden Nazis show up out of nowhere.
It's Nicolas Cage saying that line to like the kid.
And so I just like
a national treasure.
You're just better off just keeping Indiana Jones, just keep making games, even though when Harrison Ford does pass away, his legacy will live on through games.
Yeah, no, I like that concept, but yeah, they're good. It's fucking Hollywood. They're gonna fucking reboot it. All right, we get a in-engine cinematic rendered for the trailer. What does that mean?
He's so tired. I was playing with him downstairs.
This could be interesting. New IP. Something new.
It's Godfather.
Yourself. Your life.
The beginning of Godfather. Assassin's Creed. Oh!
What the fuck? A new Mafia, but the old country.
I'm down for that.
But the Game Awards. They're going to do more at the Game Awards.
I thought that was funny. I just said it's their origins of Godfather.
Oh, that's Mafia.
It's Mafia old country.
But people, we have been waiting for a new Mafia game for a very long time.
I saw it was Italian. I was like, maybe it's Mafia.
Classic mob movie feeling. Mafia's success is built on our players.
That's awesome. I'm actually really excited for that. And it's like it's like an old like classic like it's further back in time, it looks like.
That was a fun surprise, right? All right.
That was. I actually that didn't get leaked. That was a nice surprise.
We hope to see you again this December,
okay.
December 12th when the Game Awards streams live everywhere for our 10th anniversary show. And it's going to be
Wow,
a
it's her
very
10th
special
anniversary.
night as we give you a sense of where games are going in the next decade. We don't want to say much now, but trust me, it's going to be a very special show. All right, well, thanks again to my co-host, Shocks. Didn't she do a great job?
Thank you so much, Jeff. It was really great to be
This is
here.
her 10th anniversary for the Game Awards this year. That's what he was saying.
Something in German too. I don't want to show you up, but vielen Dank, ihr Lieben. Ich hoffe, ihr habt eine super, super Zeit und viel Spaß auf der Gamescom.
German.
Well done, German, as opposed to mine. I'm learning. All right. Thanks so much, Shocks. Thanks to everyone. Enjoy Gamescom.
Alrighty.
Have a great night.
And that pretty much does it, guys. Oh, we gotta pause it. Well, I will say it was it was okay. I honestly wasn't too shocked during most of this presentation, besides the ending here. It seemed to me that they, like, you know, they didn't really have, like, a major thing besides Mafia.
No.
Like, the Mafia was, like, the big major announcement, but there wasn't, like, any big surprises. I'm trying to recall. Yeah. There wasn't really any major surprises there, so... Anyway, I guess we'll have to wait for the Game Awards. I will not be streaming the Game Awards because we're going to that in December. So we always go every single year. I guess. I might do a video maybe after sharing my thoughts on the announcements. But anyway, was this better than Summer Games Fest? I'd say it's about the same to me. Meaning that it was a bit underwhelming, slightly underwhelming. Nice to get release dates, I guess, for Indiana Jones. And, yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think of... It just seemed like updates on existing projects to me. But, it was alright. Anyway, I'm gonna get going, guys. So I guess I'll see you maybe next month for the PlayStation showcase that I'm sure will happen, and I guess we'll see what gets announced then. Possibly the PS5 Pro, and everyone rushing to pre-order it, and then scalpers immediately putting it on eBay for like $1,200. You know it's gonna happen. It's gonna fucking happen. It's gonna suck. Yeah. Alright, guys. Well, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you guys being here and chatting. It was great to talk with you all. Hopefully the next time you see me, I'll be done with this cold that I'm in right now. And content is already scheduled and will be live on the channel soon. So
the winter solstice?
The winter solstice. Alright, see you guys later. Thank you.
Are you sure it's not the winter solstice?